published 1636 Est, the 5th of December 2017, updated 2033 Est, the 5th of December 2017. By the end of an anxious, edgy night in Glasgow's East End, Celtic reached their promised land. Yet a third straight home defeat in Group B of the Champions League made qualification for the last 32 of the Europa League a strangely joyless affair. 4 years and 10 games have now passed since Scotland's champions won the last home group stage match against Ajax. Regarded for so long as a European fortress, the walls of Parkhead are now straining under the weight of incessant fire. A Josu Simunovic own goal in 62 minutes owed something to misfortune. Yet self-inflicted damage was the story of Celtic's night. Oddly off-key and outplayed for long spells, the home team struggled with the psychology of the situation. Brendan Rodgers denied they were spooked, but they certainly looked it. Peter Gherkins grabbed the ball after Josu Simunovic left-turned the ball past his own goalkeeper for the opener. The own goal went on to prove decisive in terms of deciding the game, but Anderlecht could not find the three they needed. A teasing ball forced Simunovic to intervene, but the defender failed to adjust his body in time to head clear without so much as a point. After 5 games, Anderlecht entered this game in need of a 30-win to edge third place in Group B, a team with nothing to lose. The truth is this: they could have reached their target by half-time. Clinging on to qualify with 3 points, Celtic enter Monday's draw for the last 32 of the Europa League unseeded. On nights like this, the prospect of an Atletico Madrid, an Arsenal or an AC Milan visiting Glasgow's East End feels more like a punishment than a reward. Still awaiting his first home win in the Champions League, Rodgers appealed for realism after this, conceding his team remain a long way behind the top level. One thing's for sure, no one is talking about another Seville-type run now. The most important thing is we are sat here talking about having qualified, said Rodgers afterwards. For a Scottish team to have come out of the Champions League and have European football after Christmas is a huge achievement. Beyond that, I'm not really thinking about it. We can put it to bed now for a few months and we will be better when we come back in February. The opening 45 minutes was a grim spectacle for Celtic. The second was better, but not much. Out with a brief spell at the beginning of the second half, this was never a game Celtic looked like winning. If there's a saving grace, it lies in the fact Anderlecht didn't play like this when the sides faced off in Brussels in September. There was nothing Craig Gordon could do as the ball was inadvertently deflected off the post into the corner. Anderlecht celebrated going ahead in the game after dominating much of the match at Celtic Park. Simunovic attempted to make amends for scoring an own goal, but ultimately Celtic drew a blank at home. The Hoops dropped into the Europa League, having finished the campaign in third place ahead of Anderlecht, the champions of Belgium. The Pot 3 team in Group B outplayed the hosts for long spells. But for Craig Gordon, the nervous apprehension which quickly settled over Parkhead might have required tranquilizers. The statistics told no lies. Anderlecht, composed and slick, enjoyed 58% possession in the opening half and had 3 shots on target. Celtic had 42% and none. The mere art of crossing the halfway line proved beyond them. The pre-match narrative was effectively torn up and thrown away, but for Gordon, Sven Combs would have granted Anderlecht the lead as early as the 3rd minute, latching on to Henry Onyekuru's cutback from the byline to force a goal line block from the Celtic goalkeeper. Television replays showed he should have buried it. Gordon was called into action again in 17 minutes, Adrian Treble producing a thumping scissors kick from a hopeful flick on. In midfield, Celtic were being outplayed, the gap between Moussa Dembele and the others gaping. Stuart Armstrong's uncharacteristic inability to retain the ball summed up the way things were going, the Scotland midfielder unable to complete a pass for love or money. Unsurprisingly, he failed to appear for the second half. Neither for that matter did Scott Sinclair. In truth, Rodgers could have made 7 or 8 changes at the interval. James Forrest, of whom so much was expected following a stunning display against Bayern Munich, struggled to regain his mobility after an early knock but, like the team, improved in the second half. Early on, the winger surrendered decent possession at the edge of his own area, and long-range snapshot from trebles clutched comfortably by Gordon. Scott Brown fights Sophia Hanny-Wright as the duo battle hard for the ball in our midfield with a robust challenge. Hanny bursts away from the combative Scottish stalwart as the Celtic man sets off in pursuit of his opponent. Henry Onyekuru caused problems for Brendan Rodgers' men with his acceleration and dynamism up front. Hanny caused the home side a number of problems as he picked up possession in dangerous areas. Playing in his 69th game in the Champions League, captain Scott Brown surpassed the previous record for a Scot set by Kenny Dalglish. Give Brown this much: he did his bit. He might have been the only Celtic outfield starter who actually did. After a poor 45 minutes, Rodgers acknowledged something had to change. His team hadn't turned up. The withdrawal of Armstrong and Sinclair witnessed Olivier Ntcham and Tom Rogic take to the field. Ntcham, in particular, made an impact with his passing and attacking endeavour. He also managed something resembling a shot within 3 minutes of the restart. Starved of attacking endeavour for so long, Celtic's support grabbed at the encouragement where they could find it, bursting into the game with a vengeance. James Forrest had by far Celtic's best effort of the game in 55 minutes. Bursting infield from the halfway line, the winger exchanged passes with Kieran Tierney before guiding a low effort towards the bottom left-hand corner from 18 yards. Boak threw himself low to push the ball round the post. Celtic were finally showing signs of growing into the game when they lost a pretty calamitous goal. A poor Kieran Tierney clearance gifted possession back to Anderlecht in the Celtic half. A hopeful cross from right-back Denis Appiah was aimed at the number 8 Peter Gherkins, but came off the head of Jozo Simunovic and spun into the net past to helpless Craig Gordon off the inside of the far post. Adrian Treble-Wright competes with Celtic's talented young striker, Moussa Dembele during the first half. Mabo Jikara advances with the ball as the Anderlecht powerhouse looks to shake off the attention of Dembele. Craig Gordon was called into action as the visitors enjoyed the better of the chances early on in the match. Brendan Rodgers encouraged his side from the technical area as they battled hard at Celtic Park with half an hour to play. Anderlecht still needed 2 goals, but they had something to cling to. The concession of an own goal summed Celtic up. Within 4 minutes, Bosnian international Simunovic almost made amends at the other end, controlling a Boyatan Ocon in the area and volleying over the bar with his right foot. Yet Celtic were back in the shell, on the back foot once again. Buoyed by his weekend hat-trick against Motherwell, Odsonne Edouard was entrusted with the task of replacing an off-key Dembele with 16 minutes to play. In over an hour of football, Celtic had managed one genuine effort on goal whilst struggling to retain any momentum or conviction. Sensing the vulnerability of the home team, Anderlecht rightly still fancied their chances. Ntcham's low strike from 25 yards gave Boak a save to make. Yet the final stages were played out in tense silence. The Anderlecht fans roared out defiance and appreciation of the first win from a Belgian team at this level in 2 seasons. Yet they knew, as everyone did, it was too little too late. Uros Spajic climbs high to plant a powerful cleared header away from danger with Dembele watching on. James Forrest looks to cut a path through the Anderlecht defence as he is closed down quickly in the box. Celtic overcame Anderlecht in the away leg, which proved to be decisive in the progression to the Europa League.